Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, those of you who are not familiar with this channel or are watching the channel for the very first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called uncommon sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who already subscribed to the channel. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter in your devices. So, what I'm going to ask is the following. If you have not done so, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, the like button, and set the notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do go and prepare content, you have it. Now, tonight, the subscriber mode function. Any subscriber or not a subscriber, enter a comment in the chat, or if you wish, after I drop the link. Now, let me just go over the rules in case you're not familiar. Number one, please don't overtalk anyone that's on the panel, whether it be the guest or myself. Number two, don't be disrespectful to anyone that's on the panel or on the chat. And number three, if you decide to use a talk, you will be removed. It is that simple. And the reason why for all that is that here, this is a share their points of view. I don't believe in censoring people as long as you are respectful. Okay. Now, before we get into the topic, the theme for tonight, there's a couple of things I would like to talk about. First of all, I want to encourage everyone who is physically able, if you can, donate blood. Because there's always a need for blood donations, particularly as we come across the holidays. Today, I went to a center operated by the New York Blood Bank, and I was proud to donate a pint of blood. So I'm going to ask that if you're physically able, donate some blood in your communities. In New York, if you want to find out where to donate blood, you can call 1-800-933-2566. That's 1-800-933-2566. Okay, so that being said, also, I'm in the midst of trying to plan something special on my platform, which is a stream regarding do mixed people and Latinos have common issues? I'm in the process of trying to get that organized, and I'm going to ask one of the biracial, multiracial community to co-host it with me. And it will be done completely on my platform. So once I get into more details about it, I will let you know. Okay, just give me okay. So as I stated before, the topic is how to maintain your spirit during trials and tribulations. And The reason why we're having this discussion, because there's going to be times when we're going to go through difficult times, and it's going to be for multiple reasons. Okay, and I see here we have a comment. Okay, good evening, Magic Malata. Thank you very much for stopping by. Um, I want to let everybody know that Magic Malata has her YouTube channel, and she is a positive influence among the biracial and multiple community. And in fact, tomorrow night, she's going to have a stream. I think it's going to be around 8:05 Eastern Standard Time, which is the reason why I'm not doing a stream tomorrow night, because I want to support her stream. So I'm going to ask, if you have not done so, please check out her content and show some love to her and subscribe to her channel. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link. Should anyone wishes to join in. Now, as I was saying, many times we go through difficult times, and sometimes we can struggle to maintain a healthy attitude during trials and tribulations and whatnot. Okay, you're very welcome, Magic. You're very welcome indeed. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing some things for us to consider on how to maintain a high spirit during these difficult times. Now I came across a video. Let me just state for the record: fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay. Now I'm going to see if I can share my screen if my computer cooperates. Okay. Oh, okay. Sometimes it takes a moment. Okay.
Attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say you can count on me and they don't come through. What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody.
Here we go again.
Reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win. I do not believe that any of us have dreams that were not given to us for the purpose of accomplishing those particular dreams. And I want to share something with you that has changed my life. I started out, as was indicated by Jack, it's very humble. I don't know what that dream is that you have, I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But here's what I know, that dream that you're holding in your mind, let's say that together, please. It's possible. See, sometimes we think I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream as we work on it day in and day out. No one, ladies and gentlemen, could have convinced me when I started out just over 6 years ago working on my dream. And I want you to think about whatever your dream is, because I was willing to take a chance. And most people won't do that. People that you talk to try and bring them into the business. These are not risk takers. Most people have done all that they're ever going to do. They raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning. And here's what I will share with you, that in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process of doing that, you will discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. Realize is that you have greatness within you. What you'll realize is that you're more powerful than you can ever begin to. Imagine. What you will realize is that you are great, that you don't have to go through life being a victim. I was born in Miami, Florida, in an area called Liberty City. In an abandoned building with we were adopted. When I was in 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable, mentally retarded. Put back from the 5th grade into the 4th grade and stayed in that category until I got out of high school. I don't have any college training, but I met a high school teacher who one day changed my life. I was waiting on another student, and amen, he said to me, "Young man, go to the board and write what I'm about to tell you." And I said, I can't do that, sir. He said, "Why not?" I said, "I'm not one of your students." He said, "It doesn't matter. Follow my directions now." I said, "I can't do that, sir." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Because I'm educable, mentally retarded." And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me. He said, "Don't ever say that again. Something does not have to become your reality." And ladies and gentlemen, I started working on my dream. And most people don't work on their dreams. Why? For many years I didn't. Because of fear. The fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? The other thing is that most people, ladies and gentlemen, they get comfortable. They stop growing. They stop working on themselves. They stop stretching. They stop pushing themselves. And they end up becoming very cynical about life. And they throw in the towel on themselves, on their families, and on their dreams. And the other thing is that most people don't feel worthy. What I'm doing now, I could have been doing years ago. But because I did not have a college education, because I didn't believe in myself, I allowed others' opinion of me to control my destiny, I didn't act on my ideas. But not only is it important that you believe and begin to know that it's possible for you to live your dream as you run toward it, but I've done something that I want to share with you called Choosing Your Future. In fact, I've developed a set of tapes talking about how to begin to create your own reality by choosing your future. And not only is it important for you to know it's possible for you to choose your future, but it's necessary. Work on yourself, that you develop yourself. It's necessary that you get the energy trainers out of your life, people who don't want anything, people who are not.
Computer running slow? Our free computer diagnosis. My Clean PC increases your computer.
Not striving, people who are not challenging themselves, people who aren't growing, people who have stopped dreaming. It's necessary to know that everybody won't see it, that everybody won't join you, that everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation. That you are an uncommon breed. You have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. That's necessary. And even though you face disappointments, even though it goes with the territory, you must understand that. I remember I was playing a game with my 9-year-old son, John Leslie, and I beat him 10 straight games in a game called Connect 4. And finally, I said, John Leslie, I'm bored. I don't want to play you anymore. And I got up. I said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. And me, please. Let's say this together. It's not over until I win. John Leslie said, no, you can't go now, Dad. And I said, why? He said, it's not over until I win. That was his attitude. We sat down and we played several other games. And finally, after the 11th game, John Leslie won, and he got up and he yawned. And he said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. And I'm saying to you, what if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through? What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win. Now here's the next step. Repeat after me, please. It's possible. I can live my dream. It's necessary. I work on myself. Surround myself with winners. Become creative. It's me. I've got to make it happen. It's not over until I win. The next thing that's important, yes, it's possible that you can choose your future and direct the course. As you, that's goals that you write those goals down, that you plan, that you think constantly of how you can begin to improve what it is that you're doing. If it's your presentations, if it's your recruiting skills, whatever that is, it's also necessary that you look for ways to always find a way to pull it out when everybody else thinks that you're defeated. That you've got to take personal responsibility to know that in order to become successful, you've got to make it your personal business to do it. But the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you that some of you already know that it's hard. It's not easy. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. No one gets me by holding on. By continuing to run toward my dream. And one day, I would have my own talk show. It's a long shot, ladies. From Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor. Never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded. But I kept running toward my dream.
Um, as you can see, I apologize. Okay, even though there was some problems with the video, the fact of the matter, there was a message. It's not over until you win. It's not over for me until I win. When you're going through trials and tribulations, sometimes it can feel like you're going through this alone. And then the people which you have hoped to be there, they're not there for whatever reason. One thing that you need to do when you're going through these difficult times, when you're going through these trials and tribulations, number one, remain calm, okay? Because it's easier to get emotional, to get upset, and to lose focus. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing to bear in mind, you are bigger than your tribulation. You are bigger than your trial. And one of the things, among the many things that I love about this video, it talks about it. It talks about the adversities that this person went through. I, as an individual, gone through many adversities. Some of you are aware of some of the adversities I dealt with, mainly with the passing of both my parents, my siblings, my nephew, also my bouts with depression and my thoughts of suicide. Okay? The reason why I'm still here talking to all of you, because I was able to remain focused on who I am. The whole purpose of this stream is there may be people here that are going through difficult times. they're going through adversity. Sometimes it's because of their poor choices that they made. Other times it could be because of circumstances beyond your control, whether it be you losing your job, whether it be your relationship is ending, whether it be a family member is coming down with an illness, whether it be someone that dies or what have you. The whole point of this stream is to help you to focus what you need to do in order to maintain your spirit. And what I mean by your spirit, I mean your drive, your energy, your can do this. Now we have in the Bible a verse of scripture. Yes, I'm going to talk about scripture because I'm a born again Christian. In Philippians 4, verse 13 says clearly, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yes, people, I am a Christian and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Okay? And what that means is I can go through any trial. I can go through any difficulty. I could go through any adversity. First of all, because I'm not alone. Second of all, I know who I am. And more importantly, I know about all the difficult times and all the trials and all the tribulations I have gone through. And with all that, I'm still here. Within a 31-year period, I lost my father, my mother, 3 of my male siblings, my oldest sister, my grandnephew. I undergone 3 major medical procedures, multiple bouts with depression, and multiple times thought about committing suicide. But yeah, I'm here today because I did not lose focus. I was able to remain calm. I was able to remain rational. I was able to deal with the adversity that I had to deal with. Okay? Have I made mistakes along the way? Yes, I did. But there is a saying, what doesn't kill you, strengthen you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link again. Okay. See, just bear with me. Fortunately, I'm having, as usual, the Wi-Fi is acting up again. But I'm gonna do the best I can. Also, I've gone through a lot of disappointments in my life. Okay. Some of them have to do with the poor choices I made. Some of them have to do with circumstances beyond my control. And when I began my career as a serious YouTube creator, there was a lot of things that I was not brought up to speak with. And some of the people that were my supporters no longer support me. But you know what? That's fine. Okay? Because I know I'm going to have other supporters who will come and support this channel. Now, as I stated before, we all go through trials and tribulations. We all have difficult moments. The key, as I stated from the beginning, is to remain calm, try to develop an inner peace. And yes, you can have an inner peace even through the most difficult situations. And the key is to remain focused on what you are doing. Also, another thing to bear in mind that when you have a goal or you have a plan of action or you have a strategy, the thing to bear in mind is don't treat it as a sprint, treat it as a marathon. And in life, bear in mind, you're going to have highs and you're going to have lows. Okay? The key is to remain calm, cool, collective, even when everything is going crazy, even when everything was going haywire. Okay? And I'm going to give you a couple examples to illustrate my point. Um, if anybody wishes to enter a comment, by all means, you can do so. Anyone, whether you're a subscriber or not, you can enter a comment. Just please keep it respectable. When we were dealing with my mother's illness, um, the four remaining siblings, we had to work together as a team for our mother's care, which meant a lot, many things. First of all, we had to coordinate as far as when we were going to take turns to see our mother. Then we have to coordinate regarding who's going to speak to the doctors. Then we have to coordinate regarding what other things that our mother needed, and of course, trying to encourage our mother um, as best as we can to keep her spirits up. Because one thing to bear in mind, my mother was 86 years old in poor health to begin with. So the fact that she was hospitalized because of poor circulation in her left leg, which led her to be amputated not once, but twice. Okay. And then unfortunately, my mother's health deteriorated further to the point where she became a vegetable and she entered into a vegetative state. When, while my mother was lucid and she made it perfectly clear to the four of us. She did not want it to be sustained through artificial means. All she wanted to make it comfortable as much as possible, which we did. Eventually, my mother was discharged home, and we all took turns to care for our mother, whether it be the feed our mother, whether it be the bathe our mother, whether it be the change her diaper, or what have you, whether it be the turn her so she don't develop bits or what have you, and to have conversations with my mother, knowing full well that she was not in a position to say anything, and all she can do was make some faint sounds. And we continue this until the day where the good Lord saw fit to take my mother home to heaven. Okay. And then we have to plan for my mother's funeral arrangements, make it um, appropriate. And of course, this was in the middle of COVID, which means only the family was allowed to see um, our mother and pay her final respects. but we were able to put aside differences for a common goal, which was to take care of our mom. Okay, which we did. Now, I have dealt with a lot of disappointments as well. Um, some of you may know that I was married. Unfortunately, um, the marriage ended in divorce. Okay, I did what I could to try to keep relationship going. Yeah, I can. You know what? You know what, magic? I can understand. Believe me. Okay, I see your situation, and that's the fact of the matter is we're all getting older, all of us. Okay. Well, you know what, Magic? I'm gonna pray for you because to care for a loved one is never an easy thing. Okay, I did it for both my father and my mother, and but you know what? As painful as my mother's passing was, because I was very close to my mom, the fact of the matter was, at least I can say that I did everything I could for my mom. There's going to be days when you're going through your trials and tribulations. You're going to have your victories. You're also going to have your defeats. You're quite welcome, Magic. You're quite welcome indeed. Okay. I don't know if you want to join the panel or if you don't feel comfortable joining the panel. That's perfectly fine. Because sometimes people don't feel comfortable joining panels. So we do have to respect that. And when I think about all the adversity that I've gone through, okay, uh, it's a miracle. I think it's a miracle I'm still here. Okay. But I'm here because, first of all, I did not give up on myself. Okay, no problem. No problem. No problem. Like I said before, I was able to keep my spirits up. Also, I was fortunate that I had people that encouraged me along the way. I had people like my mother, my siblings. I have people like my friends. I have some of the friends I met on these YouTube streets. There have been times when I thought about deleting this channel because it could be frustrating at times when you're trying to create a positive channel and you get a little disappointed because whether it be because it has not achieved a certain level of growth or whether it has not achieved certain milestones. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, there's been a few times I thought about deleting the channel. The reason why I don't, first of all, I'm not a quitter. Number one. Number two, um, I do have a responsibility to myself, and I truly believe there are people that enjoy my content. And let's see, I think you have a strong spirit and a level head. That's a plus. Well, thank you very much. To be perfectly honest, I am who I am because of my mom. That's a reality. And in all humility, um, I like to think of myself as a positive force here. Okay. As far as my accolades, I mean, if I don't get in here on earth, I'll get them up there in heaven. Okay. And I'm not doing this YouTube thing because I have an ego. I'm here on YouTube trying to share what knowledge that I have accumulated in my 60 years. Okay? Also, if I can help people avoid some of the mistakes that I've made, and believe me, I made mistakes. Okay? None because of malicious intent. A lot of it, um, not thinking clearly or not using my head, so to speak. But one thing I always try to do is to learn mistakes. And if you can learn from those mistakes, that's a blessing. If you can acknowledge it false, that's a blessing. Because unfortunately, we're living in a time when people are afraid of such things as accountability, growth. Um, some people have a hard time admitting that you're wrong. Okay. And I have to admit, at times I have been guilty. Okay. But one thing, when you're going through difficult times, it does help you to bear in mind the other times that you're going through difficult times and tribulations, but you were able to overcome them. Okay. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. Um, I remember years ago, okay, I would say, almost 30 years ago, I went through a situation where I was laid off from one position, and I lost my job through no fault of my own, but because of cutbacks. So I was able to find another job. Unfortunately, I was laid off to that job due to cutbacks as well, which led me to look for work a third time. I found work, and unfortunately, guess what? I was laid off a third time, and all this happened within 1 year. Okay. Now, for a lot of people, that could be a huge burden, a huge barrier, a huge obstacle that some people never overcome. But I was able to overcome this. Okay. First of all, because I knew what type of person I am. I knew I had some talents. I knew I had some skills. Also, I knew what I was able to do. And a key is that I did not give up. Okay. And I'm happy to say that I have not missed one day of work in about 28 years. So I'm kind of gives me there how old I am. But it's okay. It's okay. Um, the fact that I'm 60 years old just means that I have achieved a lot. Okay. And I am blessed not only to achieve so much, but I have been able to overcome so much. Now, I don't say this because I have an ego. I say this to illustrate that we all go through trials and tribulations, but we can overcome these trials and tribulations. Now, there are 5 people watching this stream, and I say thank you very much. I would appreciate it if we can have 5 likes, okay? First of all, it doesn't cost you anything to like, okay? And it does help my algorithm. And we also have the presence of the 18th letter. Good evening, Rakim. Everybody know that Rakim also has a YouTube channel called the 18th letter. So I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe to my channel and show some love to my cyber son. Okay. Which reminds me, I have been negligent in one area. Uh, every week, what I do is I like to highlight a certain individual who, in my estimation, has been a very positive influence on these YouTube streets. And I want to honor my fellow Boricua, the introvert Boricua. Okay. He also has one called Ramon, the other one, the introvert Boricua. And he does have some interesting content as well. So what I'm going to ask that you do, that you subscribe to the introvert Boricua and check out his content. For the benefit of those of you who are just joining this stream, the topic for tonight is how to maintain your spirit during trials and tribulations. Now, what I did, I have been sharing some aspects of my life, how I have been overcome a lot of trials and tribulations. Okay, and again, let me make this clear. Some of them, I'm not gonna lie, some of them is due to some poor decisions which I've made. Others have been because of situation beyond my control. Okay. And the key when you're going through these trials and tribulations is to be mindful, first of all, well, maybe it may sound easier said than done, but to be mindful that you are bigger than whatever trial or tribulation that you're going through. That's something that's very important. Another thing that's very important is to remain calm during whatever trial or tribulation that you're going through. Okay. Yeah. Also, another thing that does help you when you're going through these trials and tribulations is to remember all the trials and tribulations that you have been able to overcome. Okay. Now, in Christian terminology, we have a term for that. It's called testimony or testify. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Like I said before, um, I'm not exceptionally wise. I just happen to um, been fortunate to learn a little bit here and a little bit there. That's all. I'm not the wisest person in the world. If I was so wise, maybe I wouldn't have made some of the decisions I made. But it's um, because see the power of a testimony. What it does, it serves to encourage you, and it encourages others. Okay, and that's something that's very big among Christians in our Christian circles is testimony. Um, to share what has been done in your life. Okay, now the whole purpose is not to put down anyone who's not a Christian, but it is to illustrate something that's important. Because when you hear words of an encouragement, whether it be through your own personal life, or if you hear about someone that's going through a similar situation and they've been able to overcome their adversity, what that does, it motivates you. First of all, it motivates you not to give up. Second, it motivates you to know that if that person can overcome their adversity, you can do so too. And there is, believe it or not, there's power in the confession. Okay. I now there was a term that I used to use when I was younger. Yes, which is don't use stinking thinking. Okay. And what that means is don't confess the negative. Don't think the negative. Okay. Because unfortunately, at times we can hear some bad news and all of a sudden we think the worst. Now, I'm not saying don't become concerned. What I'm saying is put everything in perspective. That is what I'm saying. Okay. Like an example I share. I've been laid off 3 times. Okay, fine. What I'm gonna do? I am not gonna stay home, and I'm not gonna stay home, and I'm not gonna wallow in self pity. So what I did? Okay, I went out there. and I searched for work, and I was able to achieve work. I'm gonna give you another example. I wanted to have my own place. I wanted to buy my own place. Okay. Now, of course, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations because mainly trying to find a real estate agent that I can work with who will work with me. Okay. And I came across a couple of properties and I made a couple of um, proposals for a contract until finally I bought my apartment. Okay. I didn't spend the time wallowing in self pity because I was not able to get the property I wanted. I just kept looking and I kept looking until I came home. And this coming January, we'll make it 5 years that I bought my apartment. Okay. And when I think about a lot of the stuff and the misconceptions that people had about me, first of all, that I will never amount to anything. I will never have any personal success. Okay. You're looking at a person who's the first member of the family to graduate from college with a bachelor's degree. You're looking at a person who's been a municipal employee for 23 years. You're looking at a person who actually bought his own apartment. Okay? Not bad for a person that was never expected to amount to anything in life. And there's a saying, never judge a book by its cover, which is true. Never assume. In fact, of course, those of you who are baby boomers or Gen X people can understand the old joke. Do not assume, because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And I apologize for the weaker tint of humor. But the whole point is to encourage you to remain focused. It is also meant for you not to give up. And as the video stated, to keep going until you win. And winning can mean different things to different people. In one occasion, it meant for me to find work that I enjoy, work where I achieve, and I have not lost one day of employment. It also means winning in another sense that I was the first member of my family to graduate with a bachelor's degree, which also means becoming a homeowner. Okay. And that's what winning is. Winning in the sense that you did not give up your goals. You did not give up your dreams. You did not let disappointment rule your life. And unfortunately, we have people that have gone through life that have been disappointed and never been able to recover from past disappointments. Now, I don't catch judgments on people because, truthfully speaking, We don't know what they go through. We don't know of the trials and tribulations people have gone through. We have no idea whatsoever. What I can say is the following: anything, any goal, any objective, any plan that's meaningful, you're going to have to face adversity. Okay. And you're going to face adversity through several ways, several means. First of all, you're going to have to deal with people that don't have your vision, who will tell you that you cannot achieve your goal. And sometimes it's better not to share your vision with certain people because unfortunately they don't have um, the maturity or the vision to understand your dreams, your desires. Also, another thing that you have to overcome is you're going to have haters, okay? You're going to have people who, for whatever reason, were not able to achieve anything in life, and they're going to have a certain amount of envy because you're striving to achieve your goals. You're not simply accepting the mediocre life, that you're actually going out there, you're risking your time, your energies, your efforts um, to achieve your goals. And you're going to have failures along the way. And you also will have to deal with those who are waiting for you to fail. And the reason that is the case is because unfortunately, they only feel good when they see people feeling miserable. Okay. And I can see it here with these YouTube strengths. I have had to deal with haters. I had to deal with people who are comfortable with their mediocre lives and their mediocre dreams and their mediocre channels and the lack of desire to do better. So when they see someone who's trying to create a successful channel or have any goals, they feel threatened because what you're doing is you're highlighting their mediocrity. You're highlighting the fact that they failed, even though technically they only failed because they stopped trying. Okay. And to be honest, I have dealt with quite a few of these people. And quite a few of these people I have to block on my channel. Excuse me. Because I cannot allow them to disrupt the flow. I cannot allow them to disrupt the fact that I'm trying to create a safe space, a safe channel for everyone to share their views. I also have to deal with the fact that there are people who supported the channel from the beginning who stopped, and I don't hold any ill will towards those people. Um, there were people who were there in the beginning to help me get my channel off the ground, and I do appreciate them. Okay. However, my life does not end. This channel does not end simply because there are individuals who no longer support the channel, who no longer support me. Okay. And while I do care about my subscribers, which I affectionately refer to as the uncommon folk, when everything is said and done, I have the final say regarding the content of my material. I have the final say who gets on my platform. I have the final say what topics will be discussed. I have the final say of who I met on my panel because basically this is my cyber home, and my cyber home is a reflection of me. So I'm gonna drop the link one more time, which is the which is what I'll do is I'll stop to wrap it up. Now, as I alluded to earlier, starting next week, I'm going to be doing 3 call-in shows a week. Sunday will be the last stream that I will do completely in Spanish, and I have a feeling you'll probably shorting. Okay. I already have a topic for Tuesday. Okay. And the topic will be, does a high body count matter? Okay. And the reason why we're having this discussion, because many times we talk about men what slept with a whole bunch of women, and we generally think of them in positive terms. And then when we think about women who slept with a whole bunch of men, we don't think about them in the terms. So the question that we're going to ponder: does high body count matters? And if it does, okay. Of course, there are some people that will say the high body count matter because really you don't want to date someone that's a 3 or 4. You want someone that, for a man, you want to date someone that possible wifey material. And for a woman, um, you don't want to date a man that's been through hundreds of women. You want to, many of them want to date those that were husbands in the sense that they'll be faithful, nurturing, and what have you. So we're going to have a discussion regarding that topic. Uh, it is meant to be a discussion and to encourage debate. So hopefully we will have interaction from both males and females. And then this Thursday we will have what I call open discussion. And what is open discussion? Basically, I will be talking regarding certain subjects that I deem to be important. Nevertheless, if the audience has a topic that's important to them, all they got to do is enter their topics in the chat and we will discuss it. Okay. And it looks like, no, well, I do appreciate the fact that there are 5 people watching the stream. And first of all, I just want to say thank you very much. I do wish we had 5 likes, but yeah, What can you do? It is what it is. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do for next week, I'm going to disable the function. Um, I'm disable the scrap and more function, and we're gonna see if we can get some discussion going on. See if we can spot things we can put some life into this. Um, being no one else is going to join the panel, uh, I'm going to start to wrap up. Um, hopeful, and I'm sure other people will catch the stream on the playback. Okay. And of course, all of you are welcome to enter your comments after the stream's over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this now. And I'm going to end it the same rules. Let us do it to one another. Like I said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I just want to wish all of you a good night. And tomorrow, being that it's Veterans Day, a happy and safe Veterans Day to all the men and women who have served in the armed forces and their families. Take care, good night, and peace.